Assalamu alaikum. Welcome students to you all to the video lecture series of mathematics. Today we are going to start exercise 1.1 of National Book Foundation. Exercise 1.1 of complex number. In the question number 1 we are asked to evaluate the following. So first of all we are given with iota raised to power 23. So for the solution, okay, remember one thing, that is the powers of iota. We know that iota raised to power 1, this is equals to iota raised to power 2, this is equals to -1, iota raised to power 3, this is equals to minus iota, and iota raised to power 4, this is equals to 1. Okay, now using these we can evaluate any power of iota which is an integer. Okay, so iota raised to power 23, here we can write like this: iota raised to power 23. We know that iota square is equals to -1. So using this criteria we are going to associate any power of iota in the multiples of 2. So iota raised to power 23 can be associated in this way: 22 plus 1, and when powers are being added, this means two terms are in the product with same basis. So iota raised to power 22 into iota, we can write it like this. And now iota raised to power 22 can further be written as iota raised to power 2 into 11 and then iota, and we know that iota square, this is equals to -1, and now raised to the power 11 into iota. So -1 raised to power 11, this is odd power of negative, so this is going to be minus, and when multiplied with iota, so we get minus iota. So iota raised to power 23, we get the result which is equals to minus iota. So this is the answer for the first part. Now moving to the next one, moving to the next part, which is minus iota raised to power 6. So here remember from the laws of exponent we have studied in algebra, that is whenever we have two numbers in the base, in the product, and having some power, let's say n, so this power n is going to be applied over a as well as with over b. So this is equals to a raised to power n into b raised to power n. So minus iota raised to power 6, this power 6 is going to be over minus. So when -1 raised to power 6, this is an even power, so this is going to be plus, and when iota raised to power 6, this is iota 6. So iota raised to power 6, this is an even power, so this is directly the multiple of 2, so 2 multiply 3, we can write it in this way. And iota square, this is equals to -1, so -1 raised to the power 3, 3 is an odd number, so we get -1 as the answer. So the answer is -1 for minus iota raised to the power 6. Okay, so that's the answer for this second part. Now moving to the next one, third part. Here we are given with -1 raised to power 13 by 2. So -1 raised to the power -13 dividing by 2. So we know that iota square, this is equals to -1. So we can utilize this iota square over here in this base. So -1 in this -1 we can write iota square, and the whole power is -13 dividing by 2. Now there this 2 and 2 cancels each other, and we get iota raised to power -13. Now keeping this thing in mind that we need to resolve both 13 and this minus sign. So first of all, for this minus sign I am taking the reciprocal. I can write it like this: 1 over iota raised to power 13. Okay, and now the power is positive. Now writing this 13 with the multiples of 2, this can be written like this: iota raised to power 12 plus 1, and this is equals to 1 over iota raised to power 12 into iota, and iota raised to power 12 can be written like this: iota raised to power 2 into 6 and then iota. So iota raised to power 2, we know that this is equals to -1, so this can be written like this: 1 dividing by -1 raised to the power 6 into iota, and -1 raised to power 6, 6 is an even number, so this is going to be positive, and we get 1 over iota. And here also we know that whenever iota appears in denominator, we will rationalize from the denominator because we want to write complex number in standard form. So that is why multiplying and dividing by its conjugate. So iota's conjugate is going to be minus iota, so multiplying and dividing by minus iota. So now multiplying these two fractions, we get 1 into minus iota, and iota into minus iota, this is minus iota square. Iota square is -1, so minus multiply -1, this is going to be +1. So we get minus iota as the answer. So this is the value of -1 raised to the power -13 dividing by 2 in terms of iota. Okay. So this is the answer. Minus 1 raised to power minus 13 dividing by 2 is equals to minus iota. Now moving to the fourth part, the next one. Okay, so in the next part, fourth, we are given with 2 dividing by minus 1 raised to the power 3 by 2. Again, we are utilizing the same result, that is iota square is equals to minus 1. So in the denominator, we have minus 1 in the base. In place of that minus 1, I am going to put iota square. And the power is 3 by 2. Okay, so this 2 and 2 cancels each other, and we are now left with 2 dividing by iota cube. And from the powers of iota, we know that iota cube, this was equals to minus iota. So writing the denominator in place of iota cube, we put minus iota. And again, iota is in denominator, so we are going to rationalize it. Okay, so the conjugate of minus iota is iota. So multiplying and dividing by iota. So we will get 2 iota dividing by minus iota square, and again iota square is minus 1. When multiplied with this minus, this is going to be plus 1. So 2 iota dividing by plus 1 is the answer. That means 2 iota. So we came to know that 2 dividing by minus 1 raised to the power 3 by 2, this is equals to 2 iota. So that's the answer. Now moving to the last part, the fifth one. Okay, so in the next fifth part, we are given with an expression involving powers of iota. So we are given with iota raised to power 23 plus iota raised to power 58 plus iota raised to power 21. Okay, so here you can see that 23 and 21, these two are odd powers, so odd numbers, so they are going to be associated with the multiples of 2, and here 58 is an even number, so directly can be written in the multiple of 2. So iota raised to power 23, this is 22 plus 1, and 58 even number, so 2 multiply 29, and then 21, this can again be written as 20 plus 1. Okay, so powers are being added. So again, using the same criteria, this means 22 iota raised to power and then iota. Plus iota square is minus 1. This is going to be raised to power 29, and iota raised to power 20 into iota. So iota raised to power 22. This can be written like this. Iota square into 11 and then iota. Then minus 1 raised to power 29. This is minus 1. And iota raised to power 20. Iota square raised to the power 10 and then iota. Iota square is minus 1. So this is minus 1 raised to the power 11 into iota, plus multiply minus 1. This is minus 1. Iota square is minus 1 and minus 1 raised to the power 10 and then iota. Okay, so minus 1 raised to power 11, this is an odd power, so this is minus, so minus iota going to be, then minus 1, and this is going to be plus iota, because minus 1 raised to power 10, 10 is an even number, so this is going to be plus. So plus iota and minus iota cancels each other and we get minus 1. So this means, it implies that iota raised to power 23 plus iota raised to power 58 plus iota raised to power 21, this is equals to minus 1. ये हमारे पास किसके इक्वल आ जाएगा, minus 1. So student, that's all for today's lecture. Thank you. Allah Hafiz.